Hi guys, Dr. Gandolfi here. I just wanted to touch base and bring you up to speed about what's happening here at Gandolfi Chiropractic Center. We are open, we are serving our patients and taking on new patients as we speak. But I did want to take some time to explain to you what we're doing here so you know that it's a safe place to come in, to get well, to be healed. And so we've sanitized the entire office. We took a look at every possible surface that you could touch in the office and made sure that it was sanitized and clean, and we continue to do that on a daily basis. In addition to that, we removed all of our magazines, handouts, flyers, anything that you could possibly pick up, put down, and somebody else might be able to pick it up and get something off of it. We've cleaned the office of all those materials, so that's not out. We've removed or discontinued the use of electronic devices to check in at the front desk. And so we may go back to that at a later date, but right now we don't want you touching electronics and then having somebody else touch it, etc. I also want you to know that we've taken abundant precautions in sanitizing our tables after each adjustment, and any staff member that has physical contact with the patient, we are sanitizing our hands, not just washing them, but sanitizing our hands. We're taking every measure that the CDC suggests to make sure that we have a safe and responsible place for our patients to come and get care and to get well, because this is a critical time. I mean, as a chiropractor, I've taken an oath to help sick people get well naturally without the use of drugs or surgery, and we focus on helping healthy people stay that way. So we want to be a resource, a tool for information and education for people to come, get care, get well, understand what's happening with this particular crisis and coronavirus and how it's impacting people. So you don't have to lock yourself up at home and live in fear. That we want to empower our patients to understand what's happening and to be able to take control and help build the healthy immune system so you're not susceptible to mortality or what's happening with what's going on here. But you know, we are focused on helping sick people get well, and that is something that chiropractors have done throughout chiropractic. You know, we go back and we take a look at what was going on back in 1918 when the last major pandemic happened, where 30 million people, estimated 30 to 40 million people died globally. And so we're not going to see anything like that, but that was a very serious pandemic that chiropractors were intimately involved with, where they saved thousands of lives in the process. Well, how did that happen? Well, it didn't take very long for patients to realize that the people under chiropractic were actually surviving much better than the people who weren't. In fact, the statistics that came out of Iowa were that 1 in 15 people passed away who ended up getting the Spanish flu, as compared to 1 in 886 people who were under chiropractic care. There wasn't a little bit of improvement, there was massive improvement. And so as a consequence, we hear some of the old timers talk about how when they came from generational chiropractic, how their parents and grandparents were adjusting 18, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week to keep up with the demand, because if it wasn't for chiropractic, people were dying. And it didn't take long for the public to realize that. So they were bombarding the chiropractic offices. So now when we're faced again with this type of a challenge and crisis, we want you to know that there is a place for you to come. There is a place for you to come to help your immune system, to grow your immune system. In fact, now, there wasn't any studies back in 1918, but there is now. There's some great studies. In fact, there's one particular study. This came out in 2006, where they were taking a look at your innate immune response, your initial immune response to invading organisms like bacteria and viruses. And what they found was that when you get adjusted, your T leukocytes, your B cells, are increased. There's a burst in your white blood cells, your initial white blood cells that fight off the initial response to bacteria and viruses that are elevated in your blood. And so as quick and as fast as within 10 minutes of an adjustment, there's a burst in these cells. And 2 hours later, another blood test reveals that it's still elevated. So your innate initial immune response is elevated with a chiropractic adjustment, which reduces your risk. You know, what does the CDC say? They keep saying things like, man, you know what? You want to make sure we protect our elderly. We want to make sure that we protect people who are immunocompromised. Well, the deal here is it's not the virus. We're going to get exposed to the virus. At some point, we're all going to get exposed to the virus. What's going to depend on success or not is how well your immune system is functioning. And so the better you can get your immune system to function better, the more likely you are to either not get seriously ill or more likely to survive the event. So we want to teach our patients how to eat properly and what nutrition to take, what herbs to take, what supplements to take, etc. Different strategies to help build your immune system. But in another study, one of the most profound studies in chiropractic, Dr. Perot, he was the professor of medicine at New York University, one of the leading researcher in the field of immunology. And here's what he had to say. He did studies and he uncovered the fact that people under wellness chiropractic, people who were balancing their nervous system, specifically the sympathetic nerve system, but people who were under care of a chiropractic office who helped balance the nerve system, what they found was those people tested higher as far as their immune system goes than any other people. And in fact, they tested 200 to 400% better than anybody else that they could test. So here's the thing, it's all about your immune system. It's all about your health and well-being. And so I want you to think about the things that you're doing to help boost your immune system or that are compromising your immune system. But most importantly, you want to make sure that you keep your adjustments, get your adjustments, make sure we're balancing the nerve system, optimizing your overall health and well-being, and lowering your chance of infection or serious infection or even death. It's really that important. They figured that out in 1918. There wasn't any research, there wasn't any science at that time, but people were flocking to chiropractors because it made a difference. Chiropractors saved thousands of lives back then, and we're going to save thousands of lives now. So we wanted to make a safe environment for you to come to get well, to be well, to get adjusted and stay well. And also, we want you to know that we're expecting your friends and family members to come. We want them to be well too. Why would you leave them home to get sick? You wouldn't. You don't want your children to get sick. If you care about them, you don't want your spouse to get sick. They need to be taken care of. They need to be checked. So we are doing well patient checks. What a well patient check is, a patient can come in and we'll evaluate their lifestyle for things that are either beneficial to their immune system or might compromise their immune system and make some suggestions regarding their lifestyle. And in addition to that, we'll check their sympathetic nerve system, which is intimately involved in the immune process. We'll see how it's adapting to the environment and if it's functioning properly. If it's not, you're going to want to know about that. And if it is, we'll let you know that too. So again, we want to let you know what's going on here, that we're open, we're helping people, we're helping sick people get well, we're helping healthy people stay that way. We want you to be healthy and well. And so we'll be in touch, and hopefully I can continue some education through this media to help you better understand the coronavirus and better understand how to take care of yourself and get through this crisis in a healthy way. Thank you.